Man, I remember being in middle school and like I came from like a pretty like perennialist, like essentialist kind of like school, but they were surprisingly like open about like getting out there and doing whatever career you wanted to do, like whatever your dream was, which was, I don't know, it always felt kind of weird, but at the same time, I guess that's technically a good thing. But that's where the trouble starts, right? Because at first I wanted to be a construction like truck driver, drive those big old things. I had this like Tonka truck game where I would play it like over and over, and you can color your little trucks. Anyways, I thought that was cool, so I was like, that's what I want to do. But then one of my friends was like, they don't make very much money, and I was like, oh shoot, I gotta do something else. But then the teacher was like, no, you gotta do whatever your dream is. And so it was like back and forth between that and like a dozen other careers. And I don't know. I never got why I was picking a career in middle school. I mean, elementary school. Or middle school for that matter. Like, what? And so I'm in college and most people know what they're there for. And I'm like, I don't. I was hoping I would figure it out here. And I didn't. So I was like, okay, what's my favorite class? It was the English classes, so I'm like, boom, English degree. That's what I'm getting. What can I do with that? And the answers were not a lot of them that I actually liked or wanted to do, but there was a teaching option, and I was like, I'm gonna do that, and that went awful. You have to like have passion for your job to be a teacher, or at least a good teacher. Because, like, not only are the work conditions just like, ugh, but, like, the pay is like, ugh. I mean, just look at our teacher shortage. I don't even have to say anything. Anyways, like, years later, I ended up at the job I'm at now, which is like, has nothing to do with my interests or passions. Some of my skill sets, sure, but not like, highlighting me as an ideal provider of society, or. But it's like fine. And it's like perfectly fine for me because I don't care I don't care about my career or having a job or anything like that. It's a fairly easy position at least where I'm at right now. So it's just like, decent money, easy. That's it. But I wish that was something I kind of realized earlier, that that is what I wanted. I wanted something that just kind of like is easy, but also makes a ton of money. Because the thing is, if you make a ton of money, a lot of people like in those positions, like you think of like the classic businessman, like in like cartoons and Hallmark movies where they want to work until they're like 90 years old and they're there in the company for generations, and it's like, but what if you got into one of those high like level CEO positions, or at least even just like a businessman, you're at the you're at the table where they have the business meetings and you're at the table with all the papers and you got like a glass of water. You know? What if you're one of those people? Except for you just retire at like 40 because you're making those big bucks. Like, I wish I knew that was an option because I would only have like 10 years left and I would be out. I wouldn't have to work ever again. I wish I sold my soul in elementary school. Way back when our teacher was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be not working as soon as possible. Like, how genius is that? Just make a lot of money doing a job that, like, anyone, like an average person could do, and then just do it adequately, even moderately, adequately, and then you're just retire super early by like living, cheap and healthy and buying yourself a small affordable house. Just do that. If you don't care about your career, do the thing that ends your career as soon as possible. That should have been obvious. If money wasn't an object and like time wasn't a thing, maybe a dog walker. I could be a professional dog walker. I would become like a himbo gym bro. to walk the biggest dogs. Because I'm a little fragile boy. I can't walk the big dogs yet, but I would get buff AF to walk the biggest dogs.